Let's talk about a quarterback that's no longer anywhere near an MVP conversation. And by no longer, I mean never was. Tua Tagovailoa got in front of a microphone again this week.
What the hell he
It
say
is a
this
weekly
time?
occurrence. This time, it was an apology for the last time he was on the microphone.
All right, so I, as a leader of this team, of the Miami Dolphins, the comments that had been said, I would say I've made a mistake, and I'm owning up to that right now. I've talked to guys on the team about it, talked to the leaders about it, and that they know my heart. They know that the intent was right, but no matter the intent, the intent can be right, but when things get misconstrued or however the media wants to portray it, that leaves a void of silence and a lot of questions for the guys on our team.
You feel like Tua needed to apologize for that?
I'm so torn on this. I'll say a couple things. One, shout out to Tua for retroactively taking accountability. Because here's the dilemma of what we do in society. Somebody messes up. We tell them to apologize. They apologize. Then we're like, man, you a punk for apologizing. It's dumb to me, T. It's dumb to me, Care Bear. So shout out to Tua for apologizing and taking accountability. Now, it's absolutely meaningless. Nobody in the locker room is like, yeah, hell yeah, thanks for that apology, Tua. No, the damage has already been done. Tua, you already called out your teammates. It's done. Your teammates didn't follow you before your comments. That's why they didn't go to the players-only meetings. Your teammates aren't going to follow you after the comments because now you just apologized for something that you've already exposed yourself for. You've already outed your teammates. Tua has already said, it's not on me. We got a lot of guys not showing up, not dedicated. We still need to figure out who are those guys. So the apology in my mind, though, thank you for it, and I'm not going to condemn him for it, it was a waste of time because, T, you're not getting that respect back. Once the respect is gone, it's gone. It's like a soda can that has carbonation. Once you open that joint, you can't get the fizz back. You can't get the carbonation back.
Losing the bubbles.
It's gone.
We losing bubbles.
We losing bubbles. And that's what's going on right now.
Man.
I think it's already gone, T.
You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube.
No, sir.
And if you're going to criticize everybody publicly, let's apologize the same way. That's the right way to do it. But don't say things got misconstrued. You said what you said. And this is the problem. And I like Tua. I like Tua. That's my guy. We get along very well. But when you have a players-only meeting, that's the players calling that. Coaches have nothing to do with that. If the player chooses to come, he chooses to come. He don't have to come. He chooses to come. He doesn't choose to come. That's on him. What should have happened was this. When you don't show up, I'm addressing that.
Correct.
We have a players-only meeting either before or after practice.
Yeah.
So we have it before practice, after practice in the locker room. While we all in the locker room, because everybody's in there, I'm calling everybody out that wasn't there. Hey, bro, we blah, blah, blah. Why you wasn't there?
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing.
But here's the problem, bro. In order to do that, people have to fear you.
Right. They have to respect you.
True, but to some degree, they're the same thing. I remember, hold on real quick. I remember at Texas, we had an defensive lineman, Lamar Houston.
I played with Lamar.
Yeah, Lamar ends up getting drafted to the Ravens. We had a players-only meeting. We had an offensive lineman, I'll keep him nameless. He was 6'4", 340 pounds, not drafted, 5-star recruit. He didn't show up to the meeting or showed up late. Lamar, why the hell you late? He smacked his lips, he laughed. If we do something in Texas, if you're in a fight, take it to the storm. Take it to the storm. What? Take it to the storm. Take it to the storm. What? The storm was the locker room. Next thing you know, we had 2 6'4", 300-pounders fighting because Lamar was like, hey, I'm going to address this. Throw these hands right here, right now. I do not think Tua Tagovailoa has the fear of his teammates.
You know he doesn't because he went to the media to get his point across.
Yeah.
He could have got his point across to the person or persons in practice. Coach could have been up, Mike McDaniel. We all know how it goes. Wednesday morning meeting, Thursday morning, whatever. Coach, I got something to say. Because the head coach is up Wednesday and Thursday in front of Coach, I got something to say. Address the team right there for the guys that didn't show up to the players on. Call them out right there. That's what you do. You call them out in front of their teammates. Don't do it in the media. So when you do it into the media, They looking into it like, excuse my
That's a
language,
really
like,
good
what
point.
the fuck is wrong with him?
Yeah.
So that's how you handle
So
it.
you think Tua should have got up there and said, now, should he called him out by name? Because to
Yes.
me, but that's still snitching, T.
No.
It is. If the coaches are there, that's snitching.
But
he should have got up there in my mind and said, you know who the hell you are.
You already know. When you went to your position meeting, bruh, coach, can you believe so-and-so ain't show up?
Yeah.
And when they tell that coach, he telling the head coach.
Yeah.
They already know who showed up and who didn't.
Yeah.
They know.
So you call him out in front of everybody.
I would, and all the guys I played with, they know that.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something, but that's me.
Now, at that point, though, to me, it's already too late. Because if players aren't showing up to players-only meetings, even if you call them out, you're not going to be able to force them to show up.
You know what the thing is, Acho? The players that didn't show up, if they are players that you rely on,
Yeah.
that's the worst part.
It's a wrap.
If you rely on them,
TJ, I'll say this.
that's the worst part.
I don't think he calls them out publicly like that if they weren't players that he didn't rely on. I think, in my opinion, they had to be players that they're relying on for him to be frustrated
They're
enough
not
to say it to the
backup
media.
offensive linemen.
So
Then
that's
a
that in
problem.
my way makes it like I've had more time to think about this. I think Tua felt stuck because they're guys that he needs to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they're not showing up because they either don't respect him or they don't respect the coach. But I think it was more of a, I can call you out in a meeting, but if you really don't respect me, all right, I'm going to call your ass out publicly.
But
Like,
this is that point where I hate the phrase "lost the locker room." I hate that. What the hell does that look like? I hate when journalists created it. Oh, you're gonna lose the locker room.
Who loses the locker room?
I don't know. I hate that phrase.
The Longhorns of 2010.
But if there was ever a resemblance of losing a locker room, what's going on in Miami is that. Because at the point in which players aren't showing up to players-only meetings and Tua is relying on those players to show up to the players-only meetings, that's why he's calling them out. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Because you don't show up to a players-only meeting for one or two reasons. Number one, it's going to be a waste of time. Meaning, if I show up, ain't nothing finna change. We sorry. And if you don't think you can change anything because you're sorry, you will never change anything because you're sorry. You feel me?
You know what needs to happen? Wednesday, Thursday, we full pads. One of the pairs is going to be live.
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday, we full pads. One of the pairs is going to be live. We practice an hour and a half. We're practicing 2 hours today.
Yeah.
And Mike McDaniel, they're losing.
Yeah.
And this is what happens when you lose.
But here's the problem. Let's be
You
real.
got to make these practices harder.
If Tua was Cam Newton, could do it. If Tua was Josh Allen, could do it. And I'm not saying by talent, I'm saying by physicality. Why am I saying that? Because Tua should be the one to say, hey, we're going full pass. F it. I remember James Jones said there was a preseason game when he was playing with the Packers. Third preseason game. Back in the day, the fourth preseason game, starters don't play. Mike McCarthy's like, hey, Jordy, you're down. James, you're down. Greg Jennings, you're not playing. Y'all at Randall Cobb, you're down. And Aaron Rodgers was like, nah, coach, I want us to go. And so McCarthy looked at everybody else like, okay, Jordy, you're up. Greg, you're up. Aaron, James Jones, you're up. And James was like, come on, bro. But Rodgers was like, I don't feel good about where we are right now, so I want us to go. Everybody's going. The problem with Tua saying, hey, I want us to go full pads, I want us to hit, I want us to go live, you're a quarterback. We can't touch you regardless. But if Cam were going to do it, Cam could say, nah, hit me. You know what I mean? Like, Cam could actually say that. But Tua's in a glass case. We treat Tua so delicately. I don't think Tua has the necessary respect of his teammates.
He can go to Mike McDaniels privately and say, he could text him, call him. I think we need to go full
But
pass.
that's not the same.
It isn't the same. It isn't the same. But the point, you get the point. You've won one game.
Yeah.
You're better than that. We got to turn it up. Because ultimately, the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel may lose his job. And these players, y'all don't realize when the new coach come in, the bottom 10 of the roster, you gone. He bringing his 10 players in. He bringing his players in. The guys that make money, you got to stay. They bringing their own guys in.
But now, it sounds to me, though, aren't you turning Tua into a snitch? If Tua goes to McDaniel and says, hey, coach,
that ain't a snitch.
we need a full padded practice.
I don't look at that as that's what we need right now because we're not playing physical enough up front. That's what I believe we need. Mike McDaniel should do it on his own.
Here's why I disagree with you, T. I remember in college, we go to a national championship game my sophomore year. My junior year, we go 5-7. So now my senior year, I'm like, hey, we ain't finna suck my senior year. We can suck y'all senior year. My senior year, it's time to go to work. I remember we had a player. I won't say his name. Patrick McCopper. We had a player, and we were doing stadiums, and he was walking up the stadiums. What stadiums are in Darrell K. Memorial Stadium? You got to go up and down.
Yeah.
Up
The
down,
snake.
up
The
the
snake.
The whole joint. You got to snake the whole joint.
Yeah.
He started walking. I went to Coach Brown. I said, Coach, I can't win with him. I, Emmanuel Acho, cannot win with that player on the team.
What position he plays?
He's linebacker.
Okay.
And at the end of the day, he has to give a scout team look to my offense, so they can't win with them. He has to do individual drills with me. He got to warm me up before games. I cannot win with him. So I need him off the team. I never saw him again as a football player. Stayed on campus, kept the scholarship, that's all good. But at the end of the day, this is my team, not your team, Mac Brown. This is Tua's team, not your team, Mike McDaniel. So if you can't win with him in the NFL, you can't cut dudes. But Tua, you have to be the one to say keep going. I would tell our strength coaches, I'd be like, hey, coach, nah, we got to go longer. We got to go longer. Because at the end of the day, players have to take accountability for their team, not the coaches.
100%. I'll say this. Me, if I'm a teammate of Patrick's, that's his name?
Yeah.
This is what I would do. And this is what I've done. If somebody is struggling, if I'm in front of them, I stop, let them get to where I'm at. Now I'm running with them. And I'm putting my hand on it. Come on, let's go. That's how I did it. I'm gonna lead by example. Come on, bro, let's go. You got this.
But how long?
No.
Because how long,
Now,
T?
How long until you holding yourself back?
No.
Correct.
Yeah.
If he stop, as long as he's running, I'm gonna run with him. As soon as he stops, I'm done with him.
Yeah.
Because I'm showing you the support. I'm gonna lead by. Let's go. You got this. It's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. That's what I'm telling him as we run it. If he stops, but then with Tua, let's go back to Tua.
Yep.
He may not just have it in him. Just because you're the quarterback and you're the highest paid player on the team, don't mean you're the leader of the team.
Yeah.
They want to anoint you as a leader,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean you're the leader. And that's the media. The quarterback always has to be the leader. Why is that? If God, you know who determines who the leader? The guys on the team. Whoever they're willing to follow is the leader.
Yeah.
It's not always a quarterback, but you always want it to be the quarterback because he's a face. He makes so much money. That just may not be him.
And to me, the leader has to be the toughest, most fearless, most dominant, self-sacrificial one. And at the end of the day, it's not Tua's fault, but Tua hasn't proven to be tough just by nature of these injuries. So I can't follow a guy who might get a hit in the head, and before I know it, he's getting carted off the field in an ambulance. And this sounds harsh, but T, you play ball, so you know I'm not BSing here. At the end of the day, I can't follow a guy who can't demand a full padded practice because we can't afford for him to get hit. I
you can't follow a guy that's not available. That you can't trust to be available consistently.
I can't follow a guy who unfortunately has that type of injury.
I'll also say this from an outsider's perspective. I have a lot of friends that played. It's interesting to see how players talk about their quarterback when they're not playing well. You'd be surprised. It's not like, oh, well, he's got it good. That's what they say outside. But a lot of times, man, this motherfucker sucks. I'm out here busting my ass, and he out here selling us.
Yeah.
He out here throwing 3 picks. You think the team respects you? You want him to call a padded practice? Oh yeah, Tua wants us to run it. So you could pick him off 5 times.
Yeah.
No, bro. They don't respect him because they don't respect his play. They don't respect his availability. They just don't respect him as a quarterback. And that's why it's done in Miami. It's done.
Yeah.
It's been done. Whether he had this apology, whether he didn't, the fact that he says all this stuff in front of the mic is crazy already. They should take a microphone away from the man. But at this point, bro, it's done with Tua. And he's not going to get any more respect from a locker room that's already lost. And I do think you could lose a locker room because nobody respects that man. Nobody.
I mean, I can't disagree with it anymore. T, last one for you before we have to move on. Can Tua get the respect back?
It's easy. You got to win. When you start winning, it covers up a
Cures
lot
everything.
of flaws. And so if they can start winning, and Waddle can go off, A-Chain can go off. Oh, of course, it's because if they're winning, Tua's playing better. So it's like, oh, all is good now.